Hi friends! Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. It's a quiet Sunday afternoon here. My husband has 3 of the kids at the park and one of them is taking a nap. So it's nice. I just wanted to talk for a minute about including manners and etiquette instruction in your morning time, and also just ask for ideas of resources since we just wrapped up one of our books on that. So I wanted to just start out by reading a couple verses from Galatians chapter 5 that are really pertinent to why manners and etiquette are very important for us to be learning. Verse 14, "For all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself." And then verse 22, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law." And I just feel like manners and etiquette are just ways where we can set guidelines as a culture, as a community, as families, as Christians, to help ourselves to better love those around us. And so I think that really, ultimately, it's about respecting the imago Dei in other people and seeing that they are also created by God in His image, and that we should treat them with the respect and kindness and courtesy that they deserve. So that's why it's important. If you've never really thought that manners was something to focus on, I know I kind of thought when my children were little, well, surely if I just have good manners around them, then they will it'll catch, right? And they'll catch on to it. And to an extent, that's true, but there's also an extent to which we're all a little bit lazy, and I forget to use my manners, they forget to use their manners. If it's not something that we make a priority, it's something that will just slip. So it's something that I feel like we've benefited by intentionally working on, by talking about it and reading about it in our morning time. And those have been some really good discussions where we can talk about specific scenarios. So the book that we just finished reading through is Family Book of Manners. We just recently finished that. I picked it up for really cheap at the thrift store, and I just thought, it's worth a shot, and if I don't like it, I spend $1 or maybe less on it. So we read it all the way through, and there were a lot of good things about it. It is pretty thorough. It is well segmented for reading aloud. They're pretty short little subtopics, so you can pretty easily just read a short little subtopic and discuss it and move on without it being a big drawn out thing, or having to recap what you had already done by the next day, because you're not going over huge chunks. So it was really helpful. It is definitely very dated, which was kind of hilarious. My kids got kind of a kick out of some of the illustrations, just the style. It's fine. It also has like a lot of catchy sayings or whatever that I kind of laughed at sometimes. It does say at the beginning that good manners show respect and consideration for others. They're not simply a veneer we put on, they come from the heart. Good manners are really a form of love, which I did like. A few times in the book, you would see something that maybe I would edit out as I read that I felt was a little bit more about being nice and others perceiving you as nice versus being courteous and others perceiving you not being the focus, really. I just feel like the focus of good manners is not that we look good, it's that we are kind and that we are acting with that intention. It did have some really helpful stuff too on conversation starters, not monopolizing conversations, how to give good compliments. If I cannot find a good thing to go through next, I may just go through this again. I think we would probably benefit from that. I do also have this book, Protocol Manners. or Matters. I've had it for a number of years and I've glanced through it a bunch of times, but I have really not been able to figure out a way for me to implement it. It was written by someone who did a high school protocol program, which is really cool, but that's not where I am at all. Like, I'm talking to 5 to 10-year-olds in our little family crew. So some of the stuff she's talking about is too advanced for them. Like, we're not quite ready to talk about jacket length. We're not quite ready to talk about basic half Windsor knots. But also, the disappointing thing for me, which it's just the fact that the book isn't what I was hoping it would be. It's not that the book is not a good book. Ooh, formal wear. The problem is that I want something I can read to them that is on their level and addressed to them. And it could be, you know, an etiquette book just addressed to people. It doesn't have to be a specific child resource. But this is actually addressed to people who are trying to create a program, or people who are working as teachers or parents also to set up a program. So I would probably totally benefit from reading this myself, but it's not a good read aloud resource for our morning time to focus on manners together. So I need to figure out what I'm doing next. I may do the Family Book of Manners again. I may pull out just some Emily Post and go over some of the simple stuff in there. We'll see. But it's something that only takes a few minutes, and it has really seemed to be beneficial for us. So let me know in the comments below if you include manners instruction intentionally in your homeschool day, or whether it's something that you found some good ways to incorporate that, whether by at dinner, like do you make a game of it? I would love to hear any suggestions that you have. Give me a like and subscribe to my channel, and I would love to hear from you. Thanks so much. Have a great day.